Okay, so a second approach to vectorizing the shapes for your pendant would be to go find them on the internet instead of drawing them yourself. So here I've got, if I click over here on the artboards icon, you can see this is 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters, which is the size of the silicone mold. And so what I'm going to do now, okay, so I'm going to do a rock climbing themed uh, pendant here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google and I'm just going to search for rock climber. Now if you go to images, these have much too much information. If you vectorize these, it'll be a million lines. So we need to get some simple drawings. So I'm going to go to tools, and there's two things I want to do. I'm going to change the type to line drawing, but I also need to make sure that when I vectorize it, there's enough information to get good straight lines. So I'm going to make sure that I only get large size images. And so I quite like the look of one of the ones in here. So I'm going to try make sure I get the largest version of it I can. And now the easiest way to get it into Adobe Illustrator is to take a screenshot. So I'm going to go Command Control Shift 4, and I'm just going to drag my box over like that. And then I'm going to go to Adobe Illustrator, go Command V, and so now I can vectorize this and expand vectorization. And now if I go up here to fill and I make that transparent, and I go here to stroke and I make it black, and we'll make it 0.2 because it's so it's not, so you can see now there's a lot less to clean up here. So I'm going to pause for a second and clean this up. Okay, so I've cleaned up my climber here, and what I want to do though is I want to put my climber inside a shape. So I'm going to use my general selection tool, hold down the shift key, and I'm going to make the climber a little bit smaller. And now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to use the shapes in Adobe to make the outside ring like that. And I think maybe I want to have a second ring on the inside, so I'm just going to go get a second square rectangle here, and we'll put a second one in here, and that when that smart line shows up, I know that it's exactly a square. And now if I move this around, I can see that right there, it is centered between there and there. So I know that that is the same distance. So if I wanted to round the corners a little bit, I can go over here to transform, and I can make that 2 millimeter rounded corner. And then on the outside here, I can try making that 2 millimeters. Actually doesn't, because this is a bigger rectangle, I think I maybe need to do a bigger curve so it looks like it matches the one on the inside there. So maybe we'll make that 3. Okay, now I need to do something about this person here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them up there and then drag this down like that, so that they're, and now what I need to do is go get my direct selection tool, and I just need to delete this line on the inside here. So what I can also try and do is drag this box over here so that it connects up like that. Now, where am I going wrong here? Let me pause for a second. Okay, figured it out. So I need to click here, and that'll delete that line. Click here, and that will delete that line. And then we're just going to zoom in here. We're going to get this end here and just move it down a little bit so it connects up to there. If I need to, I can zoom right in so I can see that end there, and I just need to make sure that it actually is connected to that other line, so that way we make sure it's a closed shape. And down here I'll do the same thing. So we will connect that up. So let's see, what have we got here? We've got, I have to zoom in further to figure out what's going on here. I think we might delete that. And then we might be able to just drag this over and connect it up to there. So now, I got one more line in here I need to delete. So let's pan over there, get my direct selection tool. Let's see if we can. So we're going to delete this part here. We'll move that part up to there. And now we just want to. Now what I might do is go get my scissors tool here and see if I can delete that part. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to have to delete this whole line, just fine, because I can go get my pen tool. And I will attach it to there, and we will just add a line to there, hit escape to get out of that, and then we will go and do another line from there to there, making sure that before I start drawing, it's attached. Okay, so I think I now have a pendant ready to export. The last thing I'm going to do is add a hole to where I can, which will be where I eventually put the keychain through. And that's it. So there's a pendant ready for export.